Hey guys, just doing a quick video on the annualized or effective interest rate. So this is a pretty interesting idea because it's only easy to compare different compounding period investments if they have the same compounding periods but they have different rates, or if they have the same rates but they have different compounding periods. So if, for example, I had a bunch of money and I wanted to invest it into an account. If I was presented with these two options, which would be better? So A, 5% per annum compounding monthly, or B, 5.1% per annum compounding monthly. I can compare those easily because they both are compounding monthly. So if I want to grow my money, I just want the higher rate. Or I've got a second scenario here. If I've got A, it's 5% per annum compounding monthly, or B, 5% per annum compounding annually. They're both the same rate. So the only difference is that one's compounding more often than the other. So if it's compounding more often, even though it's the same rate, compounding monthly is going to grow my money faster than compounding annually, so it's easy to choose. Okay, so for these two, it's very easy to choose B because it's a higher rate, and here it's easy to choose A because it's compounding faster. But if we have two compounding options that have both different rates and different compounding periods, it's not as easy to compare. For example, so normally if I had a class, I was in front of you, I'd ask people to raise their hands, which one they think is better. If I had A, 4.1% per annum compounding monthly, or B, 4.15%, so that's slightly higher than 4.1, but it's compounding quarterly, so only 4 times a year. Is it definite? Just looking at it, is it definite which one of these options, A or B, would grow your money more? Okay, we don't know for certain because, okay, the rate is a bit higher here, which is good, but then it's compounding only 4 times a year versus 12. We don't know whether the compounding faster is actually going to grow it more than the 0.05 is going to grow it with option B. So what we do to compare better, we annualize the rates. What does this mean? This means converting the interest rate to the rate it would be if it was compounding annually. So here, this is compounding monthly at this rate. Here it's compounding quarterly at this rate. If we converted it so they were both compounding annually, then we'd be able to compare. Instead of apples to oranges, we'd be comparing oranges to oranges, and the comparison would be easy. Just so you know, the annualized interest rate is also called the effective interest rate, which is important for me as I teach year 12s and we talk about this effective interest rate next year. So, steps for you to get. It would be good to get this information down, and then also the steps to find the annualized or effective rate of a compounding investment. Sorry, my cat is trying to get out of the room. So to find the annualized or effective rate of a compounding investment, you use the graphics calculator. So the steps are: 1, you press the apps button, select one finance, and then you scroll down to select C, EFF, which stands for effective or the annualized rate. Then EFF appears on your screen, so I'll show you that now. Graphics calculator, this is that Sage Calc linked to your day map. Apps, finance, scroll down, 90ABC to EFF, enter. And so what you can see is EFF, and what is it waiting for? EFF is the nominal rate or the written rate. It's the rate that it says it is, and then you have a comma, and then you type the number of compounded periods yearly. After that, you press enter, and the answer that it spits out is the annualized or effective interest rate. Okay, so let's do an example for that. Consider the two banks below. Bank A is offering a 4.1% per annum interest rate, compounding monthly. That's important information. Bank B is offering 4.15% per annum interest rate, compounding quarterly. What's the effective interest rate for both banks? So this is how you show you're working. For bank A, you go EFF, you type in the nominal rate, which is 4.1%. You press the comma button on the calculator. It's compounding monthly, so it compounds 12 times a year. So to show that, EFF 4.1, comma, is above 7, 12, end the brackets, enter. So the annualized or effective interest rate is 4.1, no, not 4.17. It's going to round up to 4.18% per annum, round to 2 decimal points. Bank B, EFF, what am I going to put in? It says 4.15 is the rate that it says it is, but it's compounding quarterly, so there are 4 quarters in a year. So you chuck that into the calculator. How do I get EFF again? Apps, finance. Scroll down, 90ABC for EFF, 4.15, comma, 4.22% per annum to 2 decimal points, compounding quarterly. So you can see that's a higher rate, which leads us to question B. Which bank would grow your money more? Bank B will grow the money more, as the effective rate is higher at 4.22% per annum. Okay, so that is the annualized or effective rate of a compounding interest investment. Use the graphics calculator on Sage Calc. Hopefully that helps you out. See you in the next video.